Join us as the acting community honors the year's greatest performances in film and television. Getting the party started with Taittinger Champagne is the morning show's Deshaun K. Terry. Awards season is back, and we're together again.
The Screen Actors Guild Awards used to be one of the most respected and anticipated events in Hollywood. Unlike the Oscars, which are often criticized for being out of touch, the SAG Awards were seen as an authentic celebration of acting talent, voted on by the very people who understand the craft best, actors. Winning a SAG Award wasn't just another trophy, it was a badge of honor, a recognition by peers that an actor had delivered something truly outstanding. But fast forward to today, and the SAG Awards have lost their magic. The show that once felt like a classy industry insider event now feels like a messy, disorganized afterthought. From bizarre nomination choices that leave fans scratching their heads to technical disasters that make the production look amateurish, the awards have taken a serious hit. And it's not just about the logistics. The event has become more about political grandstanding than celebrating performances, leading to backlash from viewers who feel like they're watching a lecture rather than an award show. Add in awkward hosting choices, declining TV ratings, and the occasional social media scandal, and you have a ceremony that no longer feels prestigious. It feels exhausting. So what went wrong? How did an award show once considered the most credible in Hollywood turn into a frustrating, out-of-touch spectacle? And can it ever recover? Stick around, because the deeper we go, the worse it gets. If there's one thing that always gets people talking about award shows, it's the nominations. And in recent years, the SAG Awards have been making headlines for all the wrong reasons. What was once considered one of the most credible awards in Hollywood is now being questioned for its baffling choices, filled with shocking snubs, questionable inclusions, and accusations of favoritism. Take the 2025 SAG Awards as an example. Fans were left stunned when two Hollywood icons, Angelina Jolie and Nicole Kidman, were completely snubbed despite delivering some of their most powerful performances in years. Jolie's transformative role in a hard-hitting drama was widely considered one of her best in decades, while Kidman, a regular award season favorite, had received critical acclaim for her latest project. And yet, both were ignored. How does that happen? Meanwhile, some truly baffling nominations made it onto the list. A handful of performances that were considered average at best somehow found their way into the competition, replacing actors who were widely expected to be frontrunners. It left people wondering, are the SAG Awards still about recognizing great acting, or have they become just another Hollywood popularity contest? Adding to the controversy, some believe politics and personal connections are starting to influence the nominations more than ever. In recent years, there's been a growing perception that certain actors or films get nominated not necessarily because of their performances, but because of industry politics or who they know behind the scenes. Is the SAG Awards Committee really voting for the best performances, or are they making decisions based on which studios are the most powerful or which actors are currently favored by Hollywood elites? And then there's the impact of social media. With Hollywood becoming increasingly influenced by online discourse, some fans believe that backlash, or hype, can play a major role in determining who gets nominated. In some cases, actors who faced online controversy were completely excluded, while others who were trending at the right time ended up on the list, even if their performances weren't necessarily award-worthy. It's as if the SAG Awards have become more about optics than actual talent. The problem is, when nominations stop making sense, audiences stop caring. And that's exactly what's happening. In previous years, a SAG nomination was considered one of the most respected honors in acting. Now, many fans feel like the awards have lost their credibility. If people start believing that nominations are driven by favoritism, politics, or social media trends rather than actual performances, then what's the point? And unfortunately, this is only the beginning of the downfall. Because even if the right actors do get nominated, the awards show itself has been a disaster. From embarrassing technical glitches to unwatchable production quality, the problems only get worse. You'd think that after decades of hosting the SAG Awards, they'd have the basics down, right? Well, think again. Recent ceremonies have been plagued with embarrassing technical glitches, awkward production choices, and mistakes that make the show look downright amateurish. Let's start with the sound issues. It's almost become a running joke that every year, at least one acceptance speech gets ruined because the microphones cut out or the audio levels are all over the place. In 2024, an entire award announcement was barely audible due to a mic failure, leaving both the winners and the audience confused. And in 2025, the first major award of the night suffered from a 5-second delay, making the moment feel completely anticlimactic. Then there's the camera work. For a show that celebrates actors, you'd expect the cameras to at least capture their reactions properly. Instead, viewers have been treated to awkward cutaways, mistimed close-ups, and even moments where the winners aren't shown at all. In one particularly embarrassing moment, the camera focused on the wrong nominee as the winner was being announced, leading to a painfully awkward reaction caught live on national television. And don't even get started on the stage mishaps. In one recent ceremony, a teleprompter malfunction left a presenter completely lost, stumbling through lines while waiting for the script to come back. At another, a poorly timed lighting cue left an entire segment in near darkness. These kinds of mistakes wouldn't be acceptable at a high school play, let alone at a nationally televised awards show. The worst part? These technical failures aren't new. Year after year, the SAG Awards seem to repeat the same mistakes, and the production quality feels more like a budget awards show than one of the most prestigious nights in Hollywood. At a time when award shows are already losing viewership, these issues only make things worse. If people are tuning in to see their favorite actors but end up watching a technically disastrous mess, why would they bother coming back next year? And if the production quality is this bad, imagine what happens when the focus of the show shifts from celebrating acting to something entirely different. Because next up, we're talking about how the SAG Awards have become more about political speeches than the art itself. Award shows have always had their fair share of political moments, but in recent years, the SAG Awards have turned into a full-blown activism rally. What was once a celebration of acting has become a night where speeches feel more like political campaign stops than heartfelt expressions of gratitude. Of course, actors have every right to speak their minds, but when political messaging starts overshadowing the reason for the event, audiences check out, and that's exactly what's been happening. Take Jane Fonda's Lifetime Achievement Award speech, for example. Instead of focusing on her legendary career, the moment quickly turned into a lecture on climate change, capitalism, and global injustice. While some viewers agreed with her message, others were left wondering, what does any of this have to do with acting? Moments like these make the awards feel less like a celebration of talent and more like a lecture series. And it's not just acceptance speeches. Presenters and hosts have also jumped on the trend, sometimes dedicating entire monologues to social issues instead of keeping the show entertaining. Kristen Bell's hosting performance in 2025 was widely criticized for its heavy-handed political commentary, which felt forced and out of place. Instead of keeping the focus on the nominees and their work, the event turned into yet another Hollywood echo chamber, alienating viewers who just wanted to enjoy a night about film and television. What's even worse is that this political shift seems one-sided. The awards don't just encourage actors to speak on issues, they seem to favor certain perspectives while silencing others. Actors who make politically unpopular statements, even if unrelated to their work, sometimes find themselves left out of nominations or blacklisted from the event altogether. It's no longer about recognizing the best performances, it's about who aligns with the prevailing Hollywood narrative. This approach has backfired spectacularly. Ratings for the SAG Awards have been on a downward spiral, and viewers, who come from all political backgrounds, are turning away. People tune in to celebrate their favorite actors, not to be scolded or lectured. And when an award show forgets its purpose, it loses its audience. Instead of uniting people through a shared love of film and television, the SAG Awards have become yet another battleground in the culture wars. And with Hollywood already struggling to maintain its connection to everyday audiences, this shift is only accelerating the downfall of the awards. But the problems don't stop here. Because even if people could look past the political grandstanding, the choice of hosts and presenters has been another major disaster. And that's what we're tackling next. A great host can make or break an awards show. They set the tone, keep the energy up, and make sure the audience, both in the room and at home, stays entertained. But in recent years, the SAG Awards have completely missed the mark when it comes to choosing the right people for the job. Take the 2025 SAG Awards, for example. The showrunners made the surprising decision to have Kristen Bell return as host, despite her previous appearance being widely criticized for being awkward, unfunny, and overly political. Viewers expected a light-hearted, engaging performance. Instead, they got forced jokes, uncomfortable pauses, and a script that felt like it was written by a committee. And that's not an isolated issue. The presenters have also been a problem. Instead of choosing people with natural stage presence, the SAG Awards have a habit of picking presenters who seem completely uninterested in being there or who clearly didn't rehearse their lines. From celebrities stumbling over words to cringeworthy interactions between co-presenters, it's clear that preparation is not a priority. One particularly embarrassing moment? A 2024 incident where a presenter mispronounced the winner's name so badly that the audience gasped, leading to an awkward silence and a visibly uncomfortable acceptance speech. In a room full of actors, you'd think someone could deliver a line properly. Another issue is the lack of spontaneity. Instead of fun, natural banter, the SAG Awards scripts feel overly rehearsed and painfully staged. There's no sense of real excitement, just celebrities reading off teleprompters with zero enthusiasm. Compare that to something like the Golden Globes, where hosts like Ricky Gervais have brought genuine energy. And it's no wonder why the SAG Awards feel dull by comparison. It's simple. If the show isn't fun to watch, people won't watch it. And with hosts and presenters that seem either unprepared or completely uninterested, it's no surprise that viewership has been steadily declining. But if bad hosting wasn't enough, the SAG Awards have also had to deal with external controversies that have made things even worse. Up next, we'll talk about the scandals, social media backlash, and PR nightmares that have further tarnished the show's reputation. If technical issues, bad nominations, and awkward hosting weren't enough, the SAG Awards have also been plagued by controversies that have damaged their reputation even further. From social media backlash to industry feuds, these external issues have overshadowed the actual awards and made the show feel more like a PR disaster than a celebration of talent. One of the biggest problems? The influence of cancel culture. In recent years, actors and filmmakers have found themselves excluded from nominations or disinvited from the ceremony due to online controversies, some of which had nothing to do with their work. For example, in 2025, actor Carla Sofia Gascon faced a wave of backlash after resurfaced social media posts sparked controversy. Shortly after, rumors swirled that this played a role in her lack of nominations, despite her performance being widely praised. This isn't an isolated case. The SAG Awards have developed a reputation for bending to online outrage, sometimes making last-minute changes to nominations or award recipients based on whatever is trending on Twitter. The problem is, this makes the awards feel less credible, because if public pressure determines the winners, then the whole point of an acting peer vote goes out the window. Another major controversy? Feuds within the industry. Some actors have openly criticized the SAG Awards for favoritism, calling out the selection process as biased and inconsistent. There have even been whispers that some studios actively lobby behind the scenes to get their actors nominated, while others are shut out for political or personal reasons. And let's not forget the public boycotts. With the awards becoming more political, some celebrities have chosen to skip the ceremony altogether. In 2024, multiple actors who disagreed with the event's direction refused to attend, leading to awkward gaps in the seating arrangement and a lack of major names in attendance. If even Hollywood insiders are starting to turn their backs on the show, that's a huge red flag. Of course, the biggest controversy of all is the declining viewership. People aren't just complaining about the SAG Awards, they're actively tuning out. Ratings have dropped significantly over the past few years, with more and more viewers choosing to skip the broadcast entirely. Audiences are fed up with boring ceremonies, unnecessary political speeches, and behind-the-scenes drama. So where does that leave the SAG Awards? Can they ever recover? Or are they doomed to fade into irrelevance, just another outdated Hollywood institution that lost its way? That's what we're breaking down next in the final conclusion. The SAG Awards used to mean something. They were a celebration of acting, a night where Hollywood's most talented performers honored one another based on skill, dedication, and artistry. But in recent years, the awards have lost their credibility, their prestige, and worst of all, their audience. From bizarre nominations and frustrating snubs to technical failures that make the show look amateurish, the SAG Awards have become a mess. Instead of focusing on great performances, the ceremony has been overshadowed by political speeches, social media drama, and industry favoritism. Viewers tune in expecting an exciting night honoring the best in film and television, but what they get is a boring, disorganized, and often cringeworthy event that no longer feels special, and the numbers don't lie. Viewership is plummeting. More people than ever are skipping the broadcast entirely, and the general reaction online seems to be one of frustration rather than excitement. If people don't care about the awards anymore, then what's the point? So, is there any hope for the SAG Awards? Maybe, but it would take a serious overhaul. They need to refocus on acting instead of politics, ensure nominations make sense, hire better hosts and presenters, and most importantly, fix the production quality. A night that's supposed to celebrate Hollywood's finest should at least feel professional, and right now it doesn't. Because if the SAG Awards continue down this path, they're going to fade into irrelevance faster than a straight-to-streaming flop. Hollywood loves to celebrate itself, but when even Hollywood's own stars start skipping the event, you know there's a problem. At this point, the question isn't just, do the SAG Awards suck now? It's, will they even matter in 5 years? What do you think? Have the SAG Awards gone downhill, or is there still a chance to turn things around? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the entertainment industry.